Me, 42, senior QA engineer at consumer electronics company. Making $155,000, been here 7 years, testing everything that ships. Company called HomeSync Technologies. We make smart home devices. Smart thermostats, security cameras, door locks, lighting systems. All controlled through mobile app, cloud connected. $280 million annual revenue for 150 employees, growing market. QA team is 22 people. We test every firmware update. Before anything ships to customers, goes through our process. Multiple testing phases, regression testing, edge case validation. Our job is finding bugs before customers do. March 2024, company hires new head of QA named Jennifer. Age 38, came from tech consulting, organizational transformation background. First team meeting, she announces her vision. QA needs to evolve beyond finding bugs. We need to embody company values of diversity and inclusion. I'm sitting there thinking, our job is literally finding bugs. That's the entire purpose of quality assurance. About to watch 200,000 devices brick in customer homes. Because new boss thought diversity metrics mattered more than testing. Let me show you exactly how skipping tests destroyed everything. March 2024, HomeSync QA before Jennifer. Team of 22 QA engineers, best in industry. 16 men, 6 women, all excellent at finding bugs. I'm senior QA engineer. Focus on firmware testing. We test smart thermostats, most complex product. Runs on custom Linux, controls home HVAC systems. Bug in thermostat firmware can brick $340 device. Or worse, cause heating/cooling failures. Our testing process is rigorous. Takes 4 to 6 weeks per update. Phase 1, unit testing, 1 week. Phase 2, integration testing, 1 week. Phase 3, system testing, 1 week. Phase 4, regression testing, 2 weeks. Phase 5, beta testing with volunteers, 1 week. Only after all phases pass do we ship to 800,000 devices in field. Current QA team has excellent track record. Last major bug that reached customers, 2 years ago. Minor issue, fixed quickly, no devices bricked. Industry-leading quality, customers trust our updates. VP of Engineering, guy named Thomas, age 47. He built QA team for ground up, hired all of us. Knows testing inside out, respects the process. Jennifer's first week, she shadows our work. Observes daily stand-ups, test planning, bug triage. Asks questions about our methodology. We explain why each phase is critical. Why regression testing takes 2 weeks minimum. Need to verify new code doesn't break old features. Smart home devices have years of legacy code. Customers have thermostats installed since 2019. Updates need to work on all hardware revisions. Jennifer seems to understand, takes lots of notes. Week 2, she calls individual meetings. Meets with each QA engineer privately. I go in her office. She has spreadsheet open. I've been analyzing team demographics. QA is a 73% male. That's problematic. I'm confused. We hire best testers who apply. All 6 women on team are excellent engineers. Jennifer, 6 out of 22 isn't enough. We need gender parity minimum. I try to explain. QA engineering requires specific skills. Attention to detail, methodical thinking, patience. Test case design, automation scripting, not huge applicant pool to begin with. Jennifer, those sound like excuses. Women are detail-oriented, should be natural fit. Red flag, but I don't push back. Just agree to help recruit more diverse candidates. April 2024, Jennifer starts making changes. Announces QA culture reset initiative. Going to restructure team for better performance and inclusion. First change, eliminates senior/junior hierarchy. Flat structure where all voices equal. I point out problem. Junior testers need mentorship. Senior engineers guide them on complex test scenarios. Jennifer, that's patronizing, treats people as less capable. Everyone will learn collaboratively. Second change, mandatory bias training for all engineers. 3-day workshop about unconscious bias in testing. We're sitting through exercises about microaggressions, while we have major firmware update due in 6 weeks, losing 3 days of testing time for training. Third change, Jennifer fires for senior QA engineers. All men, all 8+ years experience, all excellent testers. Stated reason, cultural misalignment, not adapting to new collaborative QA philosophy. One of them, guy named David, age 44. He found a bug 2 years ago that would have bricked devices. Saved company millions in potential recalls. He's gone, escorted out same day. Thomas, the VP of engineering, pushes back. You just fired our 4 best testers. We have major updates shipping in 5 weeks. Can't complete testing without experienced engineers. Jennifer, remaining team is capable. This is opportunity for others to step up. Thomas, step up to what? They don't have the experience. Jennifer reports him to HR for undermining leadership. We're now down to 18 QA engineers. Lost our most experienced bug hunters. Major updates still needs to ship May 15th. Firmware version 4.0 for smart thermostats. New features, performance improvements, security patches. Complex update touching core system components. Late April, testing begins on firmware 4.0. Normal schedule would be 6 weeks of testing. We have 4 weeks until ship date. Already behind because of bias training. And down 4 senior engineers who knew edge cases. Phase 1, unit testing starts. Junior engineers struggling without senior mentorship. Test cases missing edge scenarios. I'm trying to mentor, but I'm also running my own tests. Can't be in 2 places at once. Week 1 uncovers 47 bugs, normal for this phase. But concerning, many are issues seniors would have caught earlier. Integration issues, state machine bugs, race conditions. Week 2, Phase 2, integration testing. This is where we test components working together. Thermostat firmware talking to cloud backend. Mobile app sending commands, device responding. Find 23 more bugs, some critical severity. Memory leaks, communication failures, edge case crashes. I flagged to Jennifer. We're finding too many critical bugs. This suggests core instability, need more time. Jennifer, we have schedule to keep. Teams need to work more efficiently. Week 3, we're supposed to start system testing. Full end-to-end scenarios, real-world usage patterns. But we're still fixing bugs from integration phase. Haven't closed all critical issues yet. Normal process. Don't move to next phase until clean. Jennifer overrides. Move to system testing anyway. Fix remaining bugs in parallel. This violates our testing methodology. You don't proceed with known critical bugs because they contaminate next phase results. But she's the boss, we proceed. System testing reveals 31 more bugs, including several showstoppers. Device fails to reboot after update in certain conditions. Temperature reading wrong on older hardware revisions. Cloud sync fails if network interruption during update. All critical issues that could brick devices. I document everything. Send to Jennifer and Thomas. Recommend delaying ship date by 2 weeks minimum. These bugs need resolution and retesting. Jennifer responds, ship date is firm. Focus on highest priority bugs only. Early May, 2 weeks before ship date. We're supposed to start phase 4, regression testing. This is the critical phase, 2 weeks minimum. Test that new code doesn't break existing features. Smart thermostats have 47 different hardware configurations. Different suppliers, different years, different regions. Regression testing validates, update, works on all of them. We have test lab with 50 devices representing variants. Normally we run 2-week test suite on all configurations. Jennifer calls emergency meeting May 1st. We need to compress regression testing. 2 weeks is too long. Update ships May 15th. I explain, regression is non-negotiable phase. This is where we catch compatibility bugs. Bugs that only appear on specific hardware. If we skip this, we ship blind. Jennifer, we're not skipping, we're optimizing. Run tests on representative sample, not all configs. Thomas backs me up. Representative sample isn't enough. Last time we did that, missed hardware-specific bug. Bricked 3,000 devices, cost us $1.2 million. Jennifer, that was old team, old methodology. New team is more efficient, we'll be fine. She gives us 3 days for regression testing. 3 days instead of 2 weeks. Mathematically impossible to test all scenarios. We do what we can. Test 15 configs instead of 50. Find 8 bugs, all on untested configurations we skipped. Report them. Recommend testing remaining configs. Jennifer, those configs are low market share. Fix the 8 bugs. Ship on schedule. I push back hard. This is dangerous. We're shipping firmware to 800,000 devices without testing 35 out of 50 configurations. Probability of field failures is very high. Jennifer, your risk assessment is overly conservative. Sometimes perfect is enemy of good. We ship May 15th as planned. Thomas tries to escalate to CEO. CEO sides with Jennifer. QA needs to be more agile. Trust the new process. I send email documenting my objections. CC Thomas, Jennifer, VP of Engineering, CTO, formally objecting to ship decision. Insufficient testing, high risk of field failures. Recommend minimum 10 additional days of testing. Jennifer responds. Objection noted and rejected. Update ships as scheduled. May 15th, 2024, firmware 4.0 ships. Over-the-air update pushed to 800,000 smart thermostats. Customers get notification. Update available. Most customers set auto-update. Devices update overnight. May 16th, morning, support tickets start flooding in. Thermostat won't turn on after update. Screen stuck on boot logo. Device completely unresponsive. By noon, 400 tickets, all same issue. Device is bricked, won't boot, totally dead. Engineering team pulls update immediately. But 200,000 devices already updated overnight. All showing same symptoms. Boot loop won't start. May 17th, disaster scope becomes clear. 200,000 thermostats bricked across North America. All specific hardware configuration we didn't test. Model THM 2019 A, manufactured 2019 to 2020. Shipped to Canadian market plus northern U.S. states. Firmware 4.0 has bug in bootloader code. Incompatible with that specific hardware revision. Causes infinite boot loop, device unrecoverable. Only fix, hardware replacement, $340 per device. Customer rage is immediate and intense. Social media explodes with complaints. HomeSync trending on Twitter, all negative. People posting videos of dead thermostats. It's May, still cold in northern regions. Homes without heat, families with kids, elderly. Some customers calling it safety issue. Emergency board meeting, May 18th. Jennifer has to explain what happened. She presents. Unforeseen edge case in legacy hardware. Testing process was followed appropriately. I'm sitting in meeting, can't stay silent. Testing process was not followed. Regression testing cut from 14 days to 3 days. 35 hardware configurations were never tested, including the exact config that's now bricked. Board member asks Jennifer, is this true? Jennifer, we made schedule-driven optimization decisions. Board member, you skipped testing to hit deadline? Jennifer, we balanced speed and quality. Thomas interrupts. QA team objected formally. Sent email recommending delay. Was overridden. He forwards my objection email to board. They read it. Timestamp shows May 14th. 1 day before ship, I warned this exact scenario. Board goes silent. Reality sinking in. May 20th, damage assessment. 200,000 brick devices need replacement. At $340 per device, that's $68 million in hardware. Total direct cost, $85 million. Stock price drops 40% in one day. Class action lawsuit filed May 22nd. Customers demanding compensation. Lawsuit alleges negligence, inadequate testing. May 25th, Jennifer is fired for cause. Escorted out same day, no severance. Thomas takes over QA temporarily. First action, halt all firmware updates. Second, reinstate full testing process. Third, try to rehire the 4 fired senior engineers. All 4 have new jobs, none coming back. David, the one who saved us 2 years ago. He's a competitor making $180,000. Tells Thomas, "You let her fire me. Watched her destroy testing process. Now you want me back to clean up mess. No thanks, I'm good where I am." June 2024, full crisis mode. Replacing 200,000 devices costs $68 million direct. Lawsuit settlement negotiations, customers want more. Legal team estimates $85 million total settlement. Plus reputation damage, lost future sales. Our net promoter score drops from 72 to -34. Industry worst, company is toxic brand now. Major retailers stop carrying our products. Best Buy, Amazon, Target all pull HomeSync. Until quality issues resolved. Revenue projections cut 60% for year. From $280 million to $112 million projected annual. June 15th, mass layoffs announced. Company going from 450 employees to 180. Can't afford staff without revenue. QA team cut from 18 to 8 people. Engineering cut 40%. Sales cut 60%. I survived the cuts, barely. Keep me because I documented everything. Proved I objected, tried to stop the disaster. Company needs me for lawsuit defense. To show someone was doing job properly. July 2024, lawsuit settlement finalized. $85 million payout to affected customers. Company takes $153 million total loss. $68 million replacements plus $85 million settlement. Nearly bankrupts the company. Board considers selling, no buyers interested. Damaged goods, reputation destroyed. August 2024, I'm looking for new job. Can't stay at company that ignore my warnings. Let disaster happen despite documented objections. Land senior QA role at competitor, $175,000. Better pay, better process, respect for testing. Most of original QA team scattered to competitors. We all have war stories about Jennifer. About the testing process she destroyed. About the disaster we all saw coming. September 2024, HomeSync limping along. Down to 180 employees from 450. Revenue running at 40% of previous year. Trying to rebuild brand reputation. Takes years to recover from quality disaster. Industry knows what happened. Word spreads fast. Jennifer posts on LinkedIn after being fired. Sometimes innovation means challenging outdated processes. Proud of work modernizing QA culture. No mention of 200,000 brick devices. No mention of $153 million loss. No mention of 270 jobs eliminated. Gets consulting gig, QA process optimization expert. Teaching other companies her methods. I wonder if she mentions HomeSync disaster. Probably not. Probably frames herself as visionary. Pushed out by resistant old guard. October 2024, I'm at QA Engineering Conference. Panel discussion about testing best practices. Someone asks about HomeSync disaster. Panelist, woman who's head of QA at major company. That's textbook example of what happens when you prioritize schedule over process. QA exists to find bugs before customers do. If you skip testing phases, you ship blind. Another panelist adds context. Regression testing isn't optional, especially for firmware updates. Devices in customer homes can't be easily fixed. You must test all hardware configurations. I'm sitting in audience thinking about my email. The one I sent May 14th warning of this. How I documented the risk got overruled. How everything I predicted came true. After panel, Someone approaches me, recognizes me from LinkedIn, knows I was at HomeSync. Were you there when it happened? I nod. I was senior QA. I wrote the objection email. They ask, did you really warn them? I show them the email on my phone, save copy. They read it, see timestamp, see predictions. Everything that happened was in that email. Why didn't they listen? I shrug. Because schedule mattered more than testing. Because new boss thought process was old-fashioned. Because diversity metrics were more important than bugs. They look confused. Diversity metrics? I explain. She fired 4 senior male engineers. To improve team demographics. Lost our best bug hunters right before major update. Then cut testing time to prove new team was efficient. They shake their head. That's insane. I agree. Cost 200,000 customers their devices. Cost company $153 million. Cost 270 people their jobs. November 2024, article in Tech Industry magazine. The HomeSync disaster. Lessons in QA process. Investigative piece. Interviews with employees. They interview Thomas, former VP of engineering. We had robust testing process that worked. New head of QA dismantled it in 6 weeks. Fired experienced engineers, cut testing time. Result was predictable and predicted. Article quotes my objection email. Shows I warned exact failure mode. 1 day before ship, in writing, ignored. Magazine asks Jennifer for comment. She responds, oversimplification of complex situation. Hardware failure was due to vendor quality issues, not testing methodology. But article has the data, the timeline, the emails. Regression testing, 14 days, 3 days. Hardware configs tested. 5015. QA engineers, 2218 for senior fired. Bugs found but deferred, 12 critical. Devices bricked, 200,000. All during her 10-week tenure. December 2024, 9 months after disaster. HomeSync announces pivot to B2B only. Exiting consumer market entirely. Brand too damaged. Can't recover consumer trust. Selling remaining consumer division to competitor. Focusing on commercial building automation. Smaller market. Less brand exposure needed. Original company vision completely abandoned. All because of one firmware update. That should never have shipped. January 2025. I'm thriving at new company. Lead QA for major consumer electronics firm. We ship firmware to 2 million devices monthly. 0 brick devices in 18 months. Because we follow proper testing process. Regression testing is 3 weeks minimum. All hardware configs tested before ship. Any QA engineer can halt release if bugs found. Process is respected. Testing is valued. That's how it should work. Now it's today, February 2025. 10 months since the HomeSync disaster. I'm successful. Most QA team landed well. We're quality engineers, always in demand. HomeSync is shadow of former self. 200 employees, B2B only, struggling. Jennifer is consulting somewhere, teaching QA optimization to other companies. Wonder if any of them check references. Wonder if they know about 200,000 brick devices. Probably not. Probably just see impressive resume. Modernized QA culture at consumer electronics company. Sounds good if you don't know the details. That's the story of HomeSync Technologies. How head of QA skipped final testing. And software update bricked 200,000 devices. How diversity metrics mattered more than process. How schedule pressure overrode QA methodology. How ideology crashed in a hardware reality. $153 million in losses.